Borderlands isn't bad, but it's definitely got some issues. The more I played, the more I realized how much it needed more time in the oven. Preheat that bitch to 450 degrees and singe my eyebrows off. What's up, guys? My name is Goohy. I make commentary style videos on the latest games released, and today, if you haven't figured it out yet by the title and thumbnail, we're talking about Borderlands 4 again. A lot of people like to call what I do here reviews, and I guess in a way that they are, but I think reviews are boring. I like to talk more conversationally about the good and the bad in games, both critiquing and giving credit where credit is due. I did make a video on my first impressions in Borderlands 4. If you want a short watch, that'll be on screen here. But today, I want to talk a little bit more about the booty meat now that I've ravaged through the game. Unfortunately, right off the bat, I have to talk about Randy Pitchford, Gearbox CEO. If you look up anti-consumer in the dictionary, a picture of Mr. Pitchford will pop up. He has many controversies under his belt, but that would take me an entire video to cover, so yeah, no. Today we're going to be talking about specifically the latest fiasco on Steam and the mixed reviews thing. If you don't already know, it's mostly criticism based on how the game runs, a little bit like sewer water. But let me not put words in his mouth, let me read what he said word for word in little excerpts. The minimum and recommended specs are published. Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers. It cannot be expected to run on too old PC hardware. Buddy, I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was the expectation. I don't think anybody booted up Borderlands 4 on their Samsung refrigerator running on dial-up and then left a bad Steam review because it didn't work right. How else am I supposed to interpret premium game for premium gamers other than an elitist bullshit way of calling people too broke to play your game? Even if that were true, it would be a dookie thing to say, but the worst part is that it's not. That's not even the case. A lot of reviews will post their specs and note that they have insane hardware way above recommended specs, and the game still runs like a 90-year-old with arthritis.
People are complaining with the highest possible specs available. He's just yapping away because not everyone went into the future to get the new NVIDIA 7090 for liver and the spine.
Even me, nobody, a fucking pleb, had called this out before he even put out his statement. There's really no excuse for this one. I'm playing on computer and I got beefy specs. Do you know how many old women I had to rob for this? It's really not with my specs, it's not with the computer, it's with the poor optimization of the game, which is kind of shitty for a AAA title. What I said was a joke for legal purposes. I didn't rob any grandmas. The issue lies with optimization, and there's really no getting around that. And usually I'd be making even more jokes and I don't know, man, maybe throwing some insults out there, but it's honestly not even worth it. And not because I'm trying to be the bigger person. I am a tiny person who loves to voice her opinion no matter who it makes mad, but the man lives in Delulu land and doesn't give a flying fuck about criticism. Matter of fact, I kind of envy his ability to separate and detach himself from any sort of accountability and self-awareness. He is the embodiment of zero fucks given and shit. If anything, I can praise him for that. I'm not saying that the team is like that, by the way. I feel like I need to say this because separating the rich guy from the people who diligently work on the game, I think, is very important. And I honestly have no doubt that they're hard at work behind the scenes to try to make the game run a little bit better. But even so, this further drives my point that this game was not ready to launch when it did, especially not at full price. It's not just the performance, it's countless glitches I encountered from beginning to end. Even recently, after a couple of patches, my buddies, the forum, everybody has reported bugs throughout the game. The map not updating correctly, bugged achievements, problems with the UI, or even weird issues like all drops for ammo are shotgun and nothing else. That fucking sucks. These aren't tiny, haha, that was funny type of glitches. These are game-breaking glitches that are fucking annoying, and it shouldn't be in a premium game. I honestly could stop the video right here, and that would be enough to make my point. A CEO living in a cloud made up of ego and farts throwing shit down on us poor plebs who don't make millions, who expect, at the very least, that their premium games provide a premium experience with no fucking game-breaking bugs and frame rates lower than my dog's IQ. I'm kidding, buddy. You're very smart. The game isn't bad fundamentally, and I think a lot of you know that by now. Like, I might disagree with a lot, and it's got its issues, but at its core, I think it thrives on what every Borderlands game has brought to the table, and that is solid gameplay, gun variety, and outlandish humor and writing. With that being said, let's dive a little bit deeper into the issues because this video is titled Borderlands is Good, but we're here to talk about the buts. But the Order, one of the main enemies introduced in Borderlands 4, is boring as hell. It's like watching paint dry or waiting for your hair to grow or that last hour of work where there's nothing left to do but you can't clock out yet type of boring. Even the guns are boring. They're all charge up weapons for some reason. Like, who the fuck wants a charge up weapon? They don't exist in real life, and I don't think it's because we physically can't make them. I think it's because we don't want charge up guns. If I go to a shooting range and somebody offers me a musket, an uncharged or unloaded, whatever the fuck the term is, musket, I am walking right out that door. I'm not sitting there loading my one pellet for 30 minutes just to shoot one time and then have to do it again. I know it's not technically the same as a futuristic beam rifle that needs charge, but honestly, both irritate my patience. I don't like waiting. Shoot already. The order enemies also just suck. The art design for both the enemies and the rifles is very boring. I know that I'm repeating myself here, but there's really not much else to say. They didn't go the rough cyberpunk route for their futuristic shit, and that's just an example. I'm not saying that all futuristic things have to be cyberpunk to be cool, but they also don't have to be minimalistic, modern, boring. The enemies don't even say anything. They just randomly teleport around like glitchy messes and then die because I kill them. Compare that to the Rippers who run at you. They yell funny shit the whole time. They just have a genuine passion and love for destruction and murder, which gives them a purpose and some hilarious personalities. Imagine paying $70 for a premium game just to fight fancy metal trash bins. The Rippers are just another version of every other enemy that's been in every other Borderlands, and although they are the fun enemy to fight, they've been done, they've been seen. So if you're gonna make a new enemy type, why not make it something that's just as memorable or more memorable than the shit that everybody's already expecting? Nah, let's introduce moving furniture instead. And just to be clear, I am talking about the trash mobs that you see throughout the game. The bosses are a different thing, and they did a lot better in that regard. Having experienced a good chunk of the map, I was also left confused as to why I even had a grappling hook with virtually no places to fucking grapple. Why wouldn't you add more anchor points for the mechanic that was introduced within 4 minutes of playing the game? The grappling hook is such a great addition to the franchise, but it felt like an afterthought. Going from point A to point B on the map is its own boss fight, I swear. I have to go 10 feet away, but there's a fucking mountain in the way and I can't climb. Why not add an anchor point for my grapple instead of making me spawn my vehicle and take 20 minutes to go around this stupid mountain? Why am I getting lost because I have to take this very specific crevice route that's the only way to get to this very specific spot? So I'm stuck waiting for the little route indicator thing to go off cooldown and show me where exactly to go and directly follow the instructions or be stuck in an endless loop of, oh shit, I thought I could go this way. It really feels like the grappling hook was a fart in the wind in areas that weren't specifically part of the story, which of course if you're exploring is a lot of the map. It makes exploration frustrating in the times where it could have been flawlessly fun. Next, but if you watched the first impressions video, you know that I mentioned the fact that the UI is simple and clean. I take it back. Not all of it. I still believe the on-screen HUD is very clean and easy to see, and there's a couple of good things to be said about the hit markers and weapon switching, etc. But the inventory management is like picking up cat diarrhea from a litter box with your bare hands. Ugh. It's cluttered and they don't show you viable options like, for example, DPS. And it's honestly just such hell to go through every single time. The game throws loot at you like you're a stripper earning ones, and the worst part is that they knew they were introducing a ridiculous amount of loot, with their numbers unironically being in the bazillions. So you'd think an organized and uncluttered inventory system would have been the #1 priority. Instead, it's messy and mid-tier at best, and that's not very premium game of them. To be completely fair, I'm sure it's a very difficult thing to accomplish to design, and I personally wouldn't know how to make it any better other than the DPS thing. But I'm not a game developer, I am a consumer. I can only make judgments based on what I experience and the things that I consume and create standards based off of that. For example, Minecraft, a game made up of literal blocks, has a better inventory system feel than this, if only just because of the search feature. Like many of the things that I brought up, a lot of it is opinionated, but one thing is for sure. Trash loot is annoying, and this game gives you a lot of it. Let me move on to some of the good. Let me jump off the hate train a little bit here, because I feel like I've done a lot of criticizing, and I don't want you guys to think that I just had zero fun in this game. I actually have been enjoying it quite a bit. Borderlands 4 brings a lot to the table in terms of things to do. The world is filled with side quests, contracts, missions, and honestly, it all makes the world feel alive and vibrant. The side quests are actually good. They actually have character. They send you on quests and sillies and introduce some fun, memorable NPCs throughout your journey.
The Order's got alarm signal boosters on the roof, plus a beefy guard patrol. Normally that'd make this gig a non-starter, but from what I hear...
For a Vault Hunter, getting in where I'm not wanted is just part of the job.
It's not limited to go fetch 'em quests, although sometimes it can be that, but it has its own plots and they're fun to see come to fruition. No idea what that means, by the way. What is a fruition? Anyway, my main complaint in a lot of modern open world games is that the side quests often feel like filler, like they're inserted there just to make the game a little bit longer. For example, tasks that just don't add value to the experience. Quantity, not quality. But in this case, I can happily say that I actually enjoyed playing a lot of the side stuff and was pleasantly surprised by the amount of charm that they brought to the table. The playable characters are fun to play. It's cool to be able to mix and match abilities. The skill trees added a lot of variety. The builds are fun to make. The gunplay is solid. The gun variety, of course, is out of this world. The story is interesting and has a lot of memorable funnies, and overall I think it's a good installment in the Borderlands franchise. And I think it's going to stick around for a while because the endgame stuff does come in bulk. Once you beat the campaign, you get these specializations that add another layer of abilities and passives to your character. Firmware lets you slap on unique bonuses to your gear, you unlock a black market vendor, you get weekly missions that add different modifiers, there's a climb to Ultimate Vault Hunter 5. I mean, it's a big jumble of endgame debauchery that can definitely add hours of Borderlands to your days. I don't think it's fully fleshed out yet. If you're someone who chugs games like some of my neckbeard friends, you'll definitely find it a little bit hollow, maybe crave for more out of the endgame, but I can see it only getting better from here. Kind of speed ran through the good because the video is about the butts. If you want to see more butt videos, that's B-U-T, not B-U-T-T, just to clarify, make sure you hit that subscription button down below. And if you like the video, like it because it helps me out a ton. The faster we grow, the faster we get to my world domination and my evil plans can come to fruition, whatever that means. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.